it strikes me that if a company's wanting to start exporting, one of the first things they might be concerned about is the financial implications. Kind of, it's going to cost some money to get involved. There's risks involved. How do you go about managing those? Who wants to start off on that?
We're quite strong on that. We don't send anything out without being paid for it. It may not be internationally acceptable, but that's the way we operate. And I think most international customers accept that, particularly for the first 2 or 3 orders. Once you build up a rapport and a relationship, then that's when you can start talking about credit terms. But initially, we like secure payments, certainly.
And what kind of sales force do you then have to maintain to keep your export business going? What's the investment in your infrastructure?
It's an add-on to our contracts department within the company. So the export department, there were just 2 of us, effectively. We service the local distributors. They've been with us, a lot of them have been with us many years, so they have a good product knowledge. So we don't find we actually support them overly. They do their own exhibitions, their own advertising. So it's generally visiting occasionally and introduce them to new products and make sure that they have the support that we can give them. And the important thing is prompt response when you have an inquiry. Particularly in the international market, they won't hang around for a week or 2. I've had an inquiry on the Friday, and by the time I get back in on Monday, I've got 2 inquiries, 2 mails chasing up the response. Because Arabs don't generally appreciate you're not actually there Saturday and Sunday. So you need to be prompt, you need to be persistent, I think, as well, and patient. So that's the 3 things. Okay, good. Gordon?
Yeah, I'd definitely endorse the patience and persistence aspect of that, especially when it comes to attending exhibitions. Very often, if a company decides, I think I'll go to GAFA, Spoga this year, and do it once, it's a bit of a wasted effort. You're not taken seriously. You need to go 2, 3, 4, 5 times until you're seen as a serious player in the market.
Okay, and from a financial perspective, how does Wildlife World approach the financial risks and reward side of the exporting business?
Well, very much, as John said, we insist that first orders from new customers are done on a pro forma invoice basis, so we're paid up front, so that does mitigate the risk. And we also have export cover for credit insurance once the customers become more established.
Okay, so that sounds like it's good from a cash flow point of view.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And John was saying that you do exactly the same thing with export insurance.
Yeah, we cover all our export debt through insurers. So we set credit limits with our through the insurers, and we trade within those limits. So we do offer credit, but it's all covered.
So in some respects, the 20% of your business that's exporting is less of a risk than the 80% of your business in the UK, where you've got numerous garden centres that could owe you money at any one point in time.
Well, yes, but we do cover that as well. We do cover all our debt. So, but going back to the point of investing in the export, I think it's very important to visit. You need to visit the markets and understand the markets before you actually selling to the markets, because they are very different. For example, for our sort of product, France is very different to Germany, even though they're next door neighbours. It's quite incredible how different the markets are, and you need to visit the retailers and understand what they sell and what is potential to sell. And that's where a lot of cost is as well, in time and money.
Debbie, from Bosmere's point of view, the financial risk versus reward?
Okay, most of the distributors we've been dealing with, we have in fact been dealing with for a considerable time, and we're in the very fortunate position where I don't think we've ever actually had a foreign debt go down on us. But on the other hand, that's also due to strict credit control should you actually offer the credit terms as well. In our case, most of our distributors are all on terms because we've been dealing with them for a considerable amount of time. But any new customers, again, you've just got to build that relationship up. You've got to get to know them. We've also started visiting people so we can get to know what their business is like, seeing what sort of building they're operating out of. If they're operating out of a shed in a back garden, God help you. But on the other hand, if they've got a well-established factory or warehouse and that, it's very comforting to actually go and visit them and know that. So I think it's all about building relationships with the people you're doing business with, because people that owe you money, they don't want to come and speak to you and talk to you. They'll do anything that they can to avoid you. That's from the UK side of things. So.